Disclaimer. This is our first attempt at a video. Everything should be forgiven due to the above fact. Proceed at your own risk and thank you for joining. Oh yeah, there's dogs at the end of the video.
Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Circle Back Vintage. My name's Crystal. This is my first time vlogging, first time filming, so I'm a little bit nervous. I have some notes that I've prepared today in order to make sure that I cover everything that I want to address. I live with my husband in Florida. We live in a 1950s bungalow with our giant schnauzer, who's 6 months old at the time. Her name is Chrysanthemum, and then we also have a spunky punk of a dog named Muggsy. He's a rescue and a terrier. They sometimes join us on our adventures, but most of the time it's just my husband and I, and most of the time I'm dragging my husband in order to come along with me to go to estate sales. It's grown over time. He started to enjoy the process. I think he likes finding pieces that are more masculine, more of that heirloom quality, pieces that are made out of wood. He always seems to like the craftsmanship and something that's of high quality. He's really started to find interesting. And actually it's really funny because he has started to learn my style even more than I think that I know my own at times. I guess something I should probably tell you guys about me. The places that I've worked in New York City and worked in antiques in Madison Avenue. Super cool, right? I went to school for art history, so that certainly began the process of enjoying arts and antiques. It goes back further than that, but that's really when it started. And then after that, kind of moved around and ended up in Los Angeles and worked at a company that did paper conservation and restoration on art pieces. That was one of the coolest jobs that I've ever had because the people that I worked for and worked with are just absolutely lovely people. I learned a lot about identifying posters, original posters, stone lithographs, how certain pieces, if they're original, just learning about the different quality and the different types of paper. So that's definitely something. You don't find paper as often in Florida just because things degrade and the humidity, paper doesn't really do well in Florida. But every once in a while I'll come across it. And then when I do, I like to go ahead and pick it up. I've got a pretty big collection of posters. I've got a lot of travel posters, some advertising posters as well. Pieces that will always stay in my personal collection, and then some that I'll probably be willing to let go of at some point. So was born into thrifting out of necessity, traveling around with my grandparents and my mom, and we would always on the weekends go shopping at Goodwill and Salvation Army and garage sales. So I always realized how nice it was to find pieces for good value when you're going and shopping. It turned into more of a passion over time and kind of divulged into the higher end pieces and pieces that are higher quality, and finding those pieces in antique stores or antique malls, estate sales. That sort of thing is definitely where that passion started to move towards. I really love the hunt. I love learning about different pieces. I think part of the pursuit of finding something that looks just perfect in your house and finding something that is unique and different, a piece that you don't find at the box stores. I think that's the purpose of it for me. While I was out shopping, I started to see pieces that I'd love to pick up, but that don't quite fit in my house or my vibe, which is why I wanted to have an online store. So circlebackvintage.com is the name of our website. We have started really going pretty heavy on this website over the past 3 months. Started collecting and ramping up about 3 months before that. I have several bins and tubs full of things that I'm ready to list to the website. I think something I should probably talk about is the different style that we have. A lot of times it's focused on like that mid-century modern style, that 1950s to 1970s. I'm pretty big on trying to have as many period pieces as I can in the house, mixing with some modern stuff as well. I'm sure that you can tell I've got a pretty modern couch behind me, but it's something that I think is really nice if you can try to follow the style and the quality of your house. And so that 1950s to 1970s style is definitely something that I'm very drawn to at the moment. That style has changed over time. Before that, it was a very like ornate Victorian style, but it's certainly transitioning more towards that mid-century modern. Somebody told me once that the things that are popular are the things that you're starting to see coming out of estates. So I definitely noticed that trends that a lot of the estates are more of those 1950s to 1970s style. I feel like we might be on the cusp of the 1980s becoming into fashion. 1990s, I think, are already in fashion for attire, but I'm not quite there yet. I lived through a little bit of the 90s, so not quite my style. I don't think I'll be picking up on that trend again. I guess you're not supposed to do the same trend that you've done already. We also like to pick up pieces that make us laugh, pieces that are a little bit more whimsical, probably not very stylish, but something that makes me laugh. My husband always seems to want to buy animals that are a little chunky, and so it could be like a figurine that has a little bit of extra chunk to it. My hope with Circle Back Vintage is that people will also be attracted to the style that I'm interested in, and will start to find pieces that really make people feel like it is, something that they need to have in their home, and something that really adds that special element. I think that all of the pieces that I have in my house are pretty unique, pretty different. They're a little bit weird, a little bit quirky. Certainly, I've always kind of been interested in that style. I like seeing pieces that I've never seen before, and usually, if I have never seen a piece before, it's something that'll come home with me if it's the right price. Just because I think that there's so many things that are mass produced and mass marketed, and there is a need for that. But those older pieces have a certain charm and quality. I always think that a piece has a history and a life of its own. I went to school for art history, and it's something that has always been a part of me. I love the educational process. I love learning about a new piece. I think my favorite part of the day isn't finding pieces or looking for pieces. It's coming back and researching them, trying to learn something that I didn't know about, our history, or about the piece history, or how it's made or manufactured. I think that it's something that we take for granted. I don't like the idea of losing part of history, so I always feel that the preservation process is really what's going to make a difference in the future. Right now on Circle Back Vintage, we're really focusing on the decorative objects part of the website, but we'll probably start to build up the art and the posters. Posters are okay to ship. I'm pretty experienced in shipping posters and rolling posters and making sure that they are properly shipped. I could probably do an entire episode just on posters and pieces of art on paper, but maybe we'll dive into that at some point. So the intention behind this is to drive content and to start to drive some bodies to our website. It's pretty good. My husband manages the website. He's been doing a great job of it. I've got a day job, so he's been helping me out by dedicating some extra time and some extra hours to getting that website looking really, really fantastic and perfect. So we're trying to divide the jobs. My job is to do the vlogging. I'll be taking you guys around to Goodwill and to estate sales, Salvation Army, antique malls, in the probably in the Florida area for the most part. We do enjoy traveling, so if you guys ever have any recommendations for, places that we should travel, especially if it is in Florida, it's an easy drive for us to get to most places in Florida. So certainly is excited to hear what you guys have to say. Always looking for new places to go, because that's what I enjoy doing on the weekends. In my downtime, I like going and traveling and seeing, a new place and a new shop, and supporting our local businesses. That's something that my grandfather always taught me, is how important it is to support your local business. They're from a small town in New York, and for years, my grandmother and my grandfather, they always bought whatever they needed from the downtown area, believing in giving back to your local community and the small businesses. So it's something that's been instilled in me that I really try to follow and make sure that we do as much as we can. I know in today's day and age with Amazon and everything, it's real easy to just push the button to have something shipped to you. So I really like supporting the small local businesses as well. I know that seems a little contradictory with having an online website, but I guess you can't have your moral compass everywhere, can you? And he's in here listening. I can just hear him right now that he is actually walking around the house when he's supposed to be outside with the dogs. So, yeah, let me think. What have I not covered? I'm sure my husband, when he is editing this, love you, is not going to love how quickly I was speaking and how I didn't have these nice little transitions. But I feel like I should leave like a little Easter egg in here for him, and he's really going to appreciate it. Don't put that in the film. Okay. Maybe I should do that every time, leave a little Easter egg in for him. I'll do it. I think he's still in here. I think he's listening. He said he wasn't going to do the preview on his phone, but I think he's previewing it and probably judging me. So we'll see. He's probably going to tell me to calm down, less vocal fry. We'll see. I'm sure over time I'll become more comfortable. Things will feel a little bit more natural. That's the hope, at least, right? No, I don't really like saying that. Thank you all for joining me and for listening to the very first episode of CirclebackVintage.com. I hope it was good. We'll see how it goes. And we're planning on doing the ongoing content, planning on doing it at least once a week, maybe twice a week. I do have a day job, so we'll see how filming goes. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that content out in a timely manner. If you have any suggestions for places for us to travel, maybe we'll bring the giant schnauzer and the terrier with us. Definitely bring the husband. He's usually a good time. Please follow us on our journey as we search for products for CirclebackVintage.com. So please like and subscribe and share. Thank you. Or like and subscribe, ring the bell, super chats. I don't know. I'm not cool. I'm not tech savvy. I like antiques. I like old things. So, yeah. Everybody, as promised, this is Muggsy and Chrysanthemum. So Chrysanthemum is a giant schnauzer and she is 6 months old, and then Muggsy is a grouchy 8-year-old rescue who we love very much. That's it. Thank you.